Well, I was just trying to hand feed her some gravy and stuff. You can see her tail moving around a little bit. You know what I did? I says, wait a minute, maybe I could get the Parazapper on her because she likes me rubbing the bottom of her throat. So I took the positive offset side, put down on the bottom of her throat. The spot here where there's not that much fur, put the other side there, the ground side. Did that for a few minutes. The thing is, she moves around. And, but you know, I ain't sure if this spooky thing is working. I mean, I know it's putting out the frequency, but is the frequency knocking out the cancer? I don't know. This, I think, would. And the CBD oil. But well, maybe the spooky is working. But if you can get that Parazapper right on the spot, that thing would do it. Because it's not just positive offset, it's pedestal offset. So it never goes to zero. It's always like, I think it's like a half a volt positive to 10 volts positive. So a cell only runs like a half a volt. So if it's opposite, the cancer cells or whatever virus is, or microbes are oppositely charged, it shorts them out, basically. It shorts them out. Basically shorts out the bad stuff and adds electrons to the good stuff. But she moves around. What I have been doing, I'm going to fill this up again with Whiskey's perfectly chicken gravy. She just ate the gravy. She's just been eating the gravy the last 2 years, for crying out loud. I didn't know that problem with her tongue was existing just recently. So, most of it ain't getting in her. So, I'm going to have to fill this bottle up about 10 times to do this. But, what can I say? You know, she doesn't like putting a bottle in her mouth. So, I'm putting the stuff on my finger and rubbing it. And I was using her over this leather vest because it makes a mess. Most of it ain't getting in her mouth, but some of it is. And so when it does, it wakes her right the hell up. So, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if this is going to work. I wish I knew what was going on with this. If it is, in fact, you know, somebody will say, do a scan and see if what microbes bounce back. I'm like, yeah, whatever. The thing I like about the Parazapper is I know it works. It's just that it's very difficult to get a cat to stay still. You know? I mean, when you have it under her chin, she probably feels something. I put it on 10,000 hertz, which is like the least where you don't feel nothing. But even a few minutes of that probably knocked out some microbes. Continuing on, but so one thing I don't like about the plasma is if you know the frequency, great. If you don't know the frequency and say this cancer that's in her is different from these standard cancer frequencies, this thing ain't going to work. It's supposed to be common to all cancers, but who the hell knows? But the thing is, if you're running a Parazapper and you get it right on the spot where it needs to be, like I was putting it under her throat, you know, the positive paddle. So, we'll see. I mean, the tail moves around a little bit. I mean, she's breathing. I mean, she's worn out, but I mean, you know, I've been trying to hydrate her and give her something, some kind of gravy or something. So, and again, you know, that spot there, it's partly from the carbon C60 on there and stuff. You know, partly it's a little red, but I noticed her fur's been clearing up. There were issues right where the good part was to the bad part. It was like a line. It was almost like growing in there, and that stopped. None of that. I think the critical junction here is, how do I get her to actually eat on her own and drink water on her own? Well, she was drinking water on her own a whole bunch last night, and today I'm like doing, you know, putting water on her lips. She's licking a little bit, not a lot. And I noticed when I got a little bit of that gravy in her mouth, she freaking perked up. So I'm continue on doing that. But the advantage of the power zapper is, even if you got the wrong frequency, if you're using the higher quality units with the My 3, you'll have, I use this one every day, 8 hours a day. It works as an electron donor, even if it's not, it'll knock out microbes, basically any microbe it comes in contact with. The only disadvantage you have is that the power zapper, the electrical current, wherever it goes, is going to do the job. If it skips an area with low electrical current, well, it's not going to get to that area. The plasma advantage is that it gets deep into the tissue. But the plasma is not an electron donor. The positive offset zappers are, especially this one positive offset and pedestal offset. The plasma will work like a charm against microbes if you have the right frequency. If you don't have the right frequency, forget it. And I guess there's a way you can do biofeedback, but who the hell knows? I mean, I'm not going to play around with that garbage. I'm just using the standard right frequencies, the John White advanced cancer frequencies. It might be working. I don't know. It might actually be working. But what I like about the power zapper, even if you got the wrong frequencies, it's still going to freaking have a really good effect. Trouble is, it's not as easy to use on a kitty cat. That's a problem. So anyway, well, I had one minor success. I took the Whiskas Perfectly Chicken, and most of this actually got down her throat, but the bottle was about 3/4 full, so maybe, but that's a whole package of the juice. So normally she'd only eat 2 packages of juice in the morning and one. I don't know. I'm going to keep working on you, poo-poo. The way I was doing it, she don't like if I try to squirt it in her mouth and get in the pocket of her mouth. I got to put it on my finger, make a little dam under her mouth, put it on my finger, and rub it, and then she goes. So if I can get her to only eat I know it's not exactly gravy because there's like it's just chicken in there. It's chicken and chicken fat, chicken protein, all this other stuff. If I can, that stuff's 100% nutritious. Even though she's not eating the meaty bits, there's like little tiny slivers of, I don't know, maybe a 1/10 of an inch big or something, bits of chicken, real tiny in there, so that'll work. But she's a lot of work. I'm just hoping, the thing is, this cancer has got to be going away, because if it's growing, this is going to be a losing battle. What I'm thinking is possibly it's being alleviated from, even a DMSO. I'm not doing too much of that, but a little bit, mixed with the CBD oil and the carbon C60 on the bottom of her throat and everywhere actually. Use a lot of high quality CBD oil. Use a lot of high quality, well, it's good and cheap, but they're actually good quality. Use a lot of that. The Rife machine, is it working? I don't know. What I might do is I might try the Power Zapper 6-pack CC2 using the 30,000 hertz. Because I don't know if she feels the 10,000 hertz. Because if you go like on a Power Zapper, if you go, in other words, here's a 6-pack one. The first one. Give this one a try too. I mean, meow, huh? So, I guess, you know what? She probably always was hurting a lot of times because she would be up on the shelf and her nose would be down. I'm like, what the hell, man? I'd be petting her and stuff. Never realized this stuff with the throat cancer or the tongue cancer, which who the hell knows? Maybe it's going down into the throat too. I noticed I used to see the fur on the bottom here, which actually is all cleared up. Was like a grayish color with a bunch of those black dots. That was cancer. Actually, I'm clearing them externally. She's gonna have no problem. You see this? This from here to here, there was a line. This was like going this way. Externally, there'd be no problem. the main problem is internal on the tongue. Like I said, I didn't realize, I was inadvertently saving her because I was giving her 10 or 15 drops of the carbon C60 one time in the morning, one time in the evening. I was just doing that because I knew from that toxicity study that greatly, the rats lived 93% longer, double their lifespan practically. And on a human, it's not going to double your lifespan. But, on her, maybe it would give her like a large percentage higher than her normal lifespan. I thought she was a kitten. That was the only reason I was doing that. And like I said, I stopped it. I looked back at my videos. On June 13th, I said I just stopped the carbon C60 because she was doing so great on the colostrum. Should have kept both of them up, but I didn't know she had cancer. And now I realize she's probably at least 10 years old. Easy. She's so small, I thought she was a kitten when she first came here. And number two, they never registered her microchip. That was another thing, so I thought she was a brand new adoptee. Or maybe she was an adoptee from someplace and she was an older cat. But that don't mean nothing. If I can get her back, I think cats can live well over 30 years and be in great health. Especially with, the stuff we know about today. So, but she's going to have a daily requirement of, I don't know if this is going to work. I got to keep her with nutrition and liquid. And see how your fur is doing up here. Well, snap back. But I think she's fairly well hydrated. Snap back pretty good. I think she's fairly well hydrated. She doesn't have enough calories. But I just thought of this using the cat food juice, because that's what she ate. She likes that Whiskas Perfectly Chicken. Instead of I was giving her some other stuff before, people food stuff, but she's been used to that, and that should be better than the people food actually because it's got more vitamins in it. What I'm going to do too is next one I do here is I'm going to put some carbon C60 in it, shake it up, and also put the cat vitamins in it, and try to give it to her by her mouth. But I got to give her a break every once in a while. Then I'm going to try to run the Parazapper. I'm going to run this one, a 6-pack, because it's got a higher frequency. And the higher frequencies, the less you feel it. I'm going to run this right there, and this puppy under your chin. This way. Because I know the Parazapper does have major effect if you get it on the area that's affected. I don't know how well it's going to get on the tongue thing, but it's going to get in and around there. I wish I knew what was going on with this Spooky 2 Rife. But I tend to think it is working. You just can't. I just started doing this, Thursday night? So here it is, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So it's like 4 days. This thing doesn't work that super quick. And I just got the CBD oil on Friday. I just started giving her carbon C60 again Saturday. So Saturday she was getting the whole 9 yards. And then Sunday when I came home, she drank a shitload of water. She didn't get that much water today, but she did get some. I was like putting it on her mouth. She was licking it. It was kind of like just scooping it up from the dish and putting it on her mouth. Put my finger on one side and the other side. I don't know how much she got. Not a lot. But her main problem is calories. Ain't calories, boobs. Ain't getting her enough of them. So, but I'm going to be filling up this bottle again. That first bottle, I probably only got a quarter of the bottle in there. Ideally, if I got 10 of these in there, in your mouth, she'd be good to go. But I'm going to shoot for 4. So, as long as she's got some calories, some kind of calories. So I'm thinking, if this other stuff starts taking effect, and the swelling goes down on the tongue, she's going to just eat. But when I give her this stuff, her tail start wagging and stuff, and she's happy. So, and You know, her fur's kind of scraggly, but I cleaned her up as best I could. You see, she's got, you know, this all would come back in too. This is all light fur right here. Yeah, even right here. See? All fur there. Yeah, would put a hairdryer on it, you probably wouldn't even notice that much. So, well, Power Zapper next try, but I'm really going to be concentrating on the food. So, she's probably, that's why she's been nasty with the cat so long too. So a lot of them, because she doesn't feel good, and that's why she's been on me like glue, because I've been taking care of her really, really good. Never aware that she had cancer, especially on the tongue. Never aware of that till recently. Yeah, so here, put that right there by your neck. She was literally for at least a couple hours today. This thing, her neck was laying right on that bulb in the middle, or the bulb was basically 1 inch away from the top of her head. So if this stupid thing works, she's definitely way close enough to it for it to work on the cancer, if it works. I'm not saying it doesn't work, but I don't know if it's going to work on what she's got. It's supposed to be the right frequencies that he discovered. He calls them the Royal Rife, the BX and the BY. You know, he was giving rats and... Well, the other thing he was giving rats and mice cancer on purpose, and he's growing tumors. Then he would remove the tumor, and then get rid of the rest of the cancer with the beam ray. He was using radio waves. See, in this case, the tumor's still there. You know, that's the thing. I guess if you operated and you took the tumor out and he's doing this, maybe it would be a way to do it. But, you know, I'm going to see tomorrow morning. I might call up the vet. And, but they're kind of yo-yos because all they know is radiation. They ain't doing radiation. Radiation, that's no good. Well, that's why, you know, you can see laser surgery. You know, not a scalpel, just like a little bit of laser. But then again, I don't know, we'll see. If I can get enough of this, I can get enough of these bottles in her tonight. I think this is going to work out. A lot of work. I can, you know, she'll live. But, you know, as long as the cancer is going away, and as long as she lives long enough where she got enough nutrition while the cancer is going away, she'll survive. But if the cancer is not going away, I think it is. I think that CBD oil, between that quality CBD oil, all CBD oils are not the same, and the carbon C60. You know, like I said, I was doing transdermal vitamin D, vitamin E, coconut oil. So, it was cleaner with the oils too. She does look pretty good. You can see there's a little bit of, it's like a scab right here. This is what that is. This was like bleeding. That's where those dots were. There's little bits of blood. And those are from, that's what all those dots were. She used to have a shitload, like a slew of them. And then when I started giving her the carbon C60, most of them went away. Then when I gave her the colostrum with the carbon C60, everything was perfect. And dummy, hear me. God, I wish I knew this shit. I'm kicking myself in the ass. But I guess, how the hell would I know? How the hell would I know? She had a tongue tumor. Cancer. You know, if I knew this crap from day one, there would be no problem. Because because what I was doing was actually keeping the cancer at bay, and I stopped the carbon C60. But if I would have known this, I would have been doing the carbon C60, the CBD oil, the Rife machine, the Parazapper, the coconut oil on her skin, you name it. I would be doing everything. And I'd be getting her, well, normally I give her the cat vitamins anyway. Oh, the colostrum. As a matter of fact, I was rubbing her fur down with the colostrum. Then I used the oils to get rid of it, and then I wiped her down. So all that stuff is there's some kind of transdermal delivery going on there too, because your skin does soak up some of the nutrients from that stuff. So anyway, keep on trucking. If she survives, she's I don't know. I don't want to put you through a lot of pain for nothing, man. But you know, as long as I keep hydrating her and I give some food in her and stuff, it's gonna find out by the end of the week. That's for sure. All right, here's little Snooks the next afternoon. You notice like her fur is getting fixed up, even with the carbon C60 on it. It looks a little darker there, but you can see it's healing up. Those are some scabs. I notice she likes me to rub at the bottom of her throat, but I'm not just doing that. I'm taking the DMSO with aloe vera, 70% DMSO with aloe vera, rubbing that on the bottom of her throat, and also with the carbon C60 olive oil, and the extra strength CBD oil. Also the Arnica Montana cream, which is 90% Arnica Montana cream with 10% DMSO. Putting a little bit of this on the side of her mouth. Just trying to get her a little bit of her chicken gravy stuff with the little microscopic bits of chicken in her mouth. She doesn't want to eat today. I call up the vet. I want to try to get tube feed or something. And if she comes through this, I don't know. She might actually be. What I'm thinking is, let's do a pie in the sky assumption. Let's say the Rife machine got 50% of her cancer gone. In between that and everything else I'm doing with the oils, carbon C60, which is known to be an anti-cancerous tumor. That's probably what's been saving her all along. I should have never stopped that stuff. I never thought she had cancer. When I gave her the colostrum, she was getting both the carbon C60 and the colostrum for a while. I stopped the carbon C60 olive oil sometime in early June. But June 17th, she was really great. I mean, I have a video of her showing she's really great. August 3rd is when all the first signs immediately appeared. So here it is. Was it August 17th or something around here? I don't know. But, you know, if I can't get some food in her, well, they're going to have to do that. So I call them up to try to get, you know, some kind of liquid or whatever. Last night, I was up with her, like I said, 6 o'clock in the morning. I did get some water in her, did get some food in her. It wasn't much. Probably what actually got in her was maybe 3/4 of this bottle. And what actually got in her, I was hoping to get like 4 bottles of it in her. You know, and I'm assuming also that the olive oil is providing a few calories, and I have got some water in her, but they're going to have to give her either tube feed or intravenous liquid, and so I'm waiting on a call back on that. So we shall see. But she was by this bulb. Actually, she was touching the bulb. Her neck was actually on it, right below where the tongue would be, for like a couple hours yesterday. And I'd say it was even closer than that. It was within an inch of her, probably 8 hours, right around where her cancerous tumor would be on her tongue, which could be down into the throat too, a little bit too. I don't know. But you know, doing a subcutaneous delivery of all these different things, I'm not just depending upon this technology. No way in hell. It's great, maybe it's not doing anything. I'm going to try to do the Parazapper later under her chin. I'm going to use the 6-pack because it's got the 30,000 frequency, because the higher the frequencies, the less you feel it. I think she felt the 10,000 hertz frequency and she moved away from it after a few minutes. But at 30,000, you really can't feel that. So I'll try that later, because I think the power zapper will actually, if you can get that electrical current to the area, it'll knock out any kind of microbe. Plus, it's an electron donor. And to tell you the truth, I didn't use the power zapper last night. First time in freaking probably a few years I skipped a day. I don't know, I don't feel as energetic anymore. And I think, well, I said that power zapper mainly seems to work when you use it in a lot of hours. Use it 10 minutes or an hour or two. Now, if you use it like 8-10 hours a day, that thing kicks butt, especially the Mine 3, because it's got the pedestal offset. Yeah, so I was running this, and I had the red side, which is the positive offset side, which is the side that will knock out microbes and donate electrons, under her chin. And that side was touching her body back there, was kind of like behind that black spot on the right. You could see there's it's more bare, and it was making contact, because I could tell by the light changing the color. The electricity was going through there. But I'm going to try it with the, I wanted to use this one though, because this one has the pedestal offset, which means the electricity never goes to zero. So it goes, it's always at, like, I think it's around a half a volt or something like that, positive, which means at 100% of the time it's working against the native electrical battery charge of microbes. So it shorts out microbes, and cat cells, human cells, everything cells, living cells are charged oppositely. So what happens is this actually works as a temporary battery charger. Not that the effects last a long time, but they last while you're doing it. For the cells it's coming in contact with, the living cells. So it's boosting the living cells temporarily, including the immune system cells. This is like pull or hold the Clark, but I'm finding out it works, because I double checked this thing with the electrical body tester. I actually got extremely good results on myself just by using the power zapper a lot. It was the Thunderbolt electrical body tester. I tested myself with that thing, and I actually got great results. I mean, it can only get so good, but I could tell by the seat of the pants I felt stronger. That's what I was hoping to do with her. But I'm going to have to use the 6-pack. That one doesn't have the pedestal offset. It has the positive offset. It still is very effective, because I can run the 30,000. But you know what? I got the, wait a minute, I have the Uzi 3 from Parazapper, Uzi 3B. That's got, there's a mode in there that's got 30,000 volts, and it's got over 10 volt, 30,000 frequency, hertz frequency, and it puts out 10 volts. Maybe I'll use that. I just forgot about that. I just forgot about that. Because you don't feel it. You won't feel nothing. The real high frequencies, you won't feel nothing, but they still work. I always like to use that 30,000 frequency. I used it a couple times when I had like an infection on a tooth or something. It's a very sensitive area. So I used the 30,000 range. Worked great. Worked great. As a matter of fact, if you have a sore throat and it's not down into the lungs, not down in the bronchial tubes, it's just like on his throat, you can put the positive paddle on there, and I like using the 30,000 because you don't feel it. I mean, that's what I'll do, because even if she uses it 15 minutes or something, that can knock out a lot of microbes, maybe not related to cancer, maybe not cancer, but maybe related to the cancer or something, and boost her immune system up a lot. But she's got to get hydrated more. So I had the water over here. I was wiping her down. Had the water with the ice cubes. I used my thumbs to try to get the water in her mouth. But she always slept a lot. Now I figured out she's an older cat, man. So if we get her back, this cat is gonna get. I thought I was taking really good care of her before. This cat's gonna go get the whole 9 yards every day. So if she makes it, I don't know. So like again, we're getting her. I don't think. To tell you the truth, I don't think she's in much pain, because she's tired. because the lack of energy and, you know, from the sickness and all this kind of crap. But the CBD oil knocks out a lot of pain. I noticed that stuff I never tried before. That's really strong stuff. I tried it on some issues I had. I said, whoa, this thing really works. It really knocked out a lot of stuff really good. But I've been doing it with the CBD oil with the DMSO, dimethyl sulfoxide, as a subcutaneous delivery system to get deep into where the soreness is, along with the Arnica montana, which is known as a pain reliever, big time pain reliever, anti-inflammatory. The DMSO was the anti-inflammatory. The whole 9 yards, coconut oil, the vitamin E, natural vitamin E, vitamin D, the carbon C60 olive oil, more. I don't remember what the hell I did. More than that. So, I personally think she can make it. But I need assistance with getting the food down in her. I think she can make it as long as I get her. I'm not, like, I tested her skin, her fur. You know, she's got pretty good hydration when you pull back the fur. She's not like severely dehydrated, but I'm not getting enough calories in her. You know, I got a little bit with that thing, and I got some with the, you know, maybe there's a few calories with the carbon C60 olive oil. I don't know. So, call up somebody. Well, hopefully they're not far away from me, so we'll get them done. We'll get that done, hopefully.